So let's officially start right now. My name is Rich Casella. Welcome to the Guitar Den free webinar series on the ukulele. All right, so I'm a pro musician. I played over 1,500 live performances in my life, and I've learned one thing. People respond to simple songs. So it's not going to be long before you guys could get yourselves up and running in order to entertain people, perhaps in a park, or entertain your friends and family. Okay, so we're going to go over 3 chords. We're going to go over the C chord. We're going to go over the F chord. We're going to go over the G chord. And how do you play those chords? By identifying your fingers, identifying the frets, and identifying the 4 strings on the ukulele. We're going to go over that much slower in a couple of minutes here. And also, we're going to go over something called the palm mute. Watch carefully what I'm about to do. That's going to become your best friend in a couple of minutes right there. The palm mute. Quick review. C, F, G. Those are the first times you're probably ever seeing those chords. You're going to get a lot more familiar with them. The palm mute and fingers, frets, and strings. So let's go back to the main Guitar Den camera here. So everybody, let's start out by identifying our 4 fingers now. Let's hold up your left hand. If you're just starting right now, just hold up your left hand because we're going to start you playing righty. We're going to number our fingers. Finger number 1, then finger number 2, finger number 3, and finger number 4. Let me switch it around to try to confuse you guys. Finger number 1, finger number 2, finger number 3, and finger number 4, okay? So here's your first quiz of the day. Who can tell me what finger this is? Which finger is this right here? Finger number what? Say it to yourself if you're on mute. 3, that's right. Who can tell me what finger this is? Finger number 1. Who can tell me what finger this is right here? Behold the neck of the ukulele. That's the neck of the ukulele. Obviously, there are strings on the ukulele, and the neck of the ukulele is divided into these rectangular sections. Does anybody know what those things are called? Say it to yourself if you don't know. They're called frets. F-R-E-T-S. Frets. Okay? Now, the purpose of the frets, this little metal piece inside here, the shiny metal piece, is used as a partition. So when you depress your fingers on certain frets, the pitch of the note goes up. Okay, so the pitch is going up. Now, this right here is fret number 1. This right here is fret number 2. This is fret number 3 and fret number 4. Now, it's really important for me to tell you that you don't need to use all these frets when you're starting out on the ukulele, okay? It's important to note also that I can play all the major chords within this section of the fretboard. I can achieve an entire 2-hour gig on the ukulele without even going beyond these 4 frets right here. Watch. There's 7 major chords, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Let me play them for you. A, B, C, D, and we cheated a little. We put our finger on the 5th fret, but we can also play a D like this, a D. We can also play an E like this, E, F, and G. So think about that. You don't have to even use the 5th fret and above to play all 7 major chords on the ukulele. So we have fingers. We have finger number 1, finger number 2, finger number 3, and finger number 4. Then we have fret number 1, fret number 2, fret number 3, and fret number 4. Now let's go over the last thing, the strings. The string that is furthest away from you, furthest down, as you hold the ukulele in your lap with strumming with your right hand, okay? As you hold the ukulele, as you're strumming with your right hand, hopefully you have a pick. If not, you can use your fingers. But if you have a pick, you're strumming with your right hand. Now, if you're holding the ukulele in that manner, identify the string furthest down from you right here. This is string number 1. String number 1. Then the next string is string number 2, string number 3, and string number 4. So the string closest to you right here, is string number 4. So they have alphabetical names as well, okay? So this is your A string, this is your E string, this is your C string, and this is your G string, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to keep it very, very simple. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So we've just laid the foundation of everything. Let me repeat it again and go much slower. Fingers, frets, and strings. So let's look at this. Finger 1, 2, 3, 4. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. String 1, string 2, string 3, string 4. So we have 4 fingers. We have 4 frets, and we have 4 strings. Fingers, frets, and strings. Each have 4. Isn't that interesting? And that's how simple it is. Let's go back to the main Guitar Den page because we're about to play our very first chord right here. Let's go over all 7 major chords. And let's go down to the C major chord. Let's look at this for a second and try and decipher it and figure out exactly what it means. All right, so obviously we have a fretboard of the ukulele right here. Then we have string number 1 here. We have string number 2 here. We have string number 3 and string number 4. What fret is this one right here? Blurt it out. Anybody, go off mute and say it's fret number
1.
Yes, very good. What is this? Fret number
2
and fret number 3. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take finger 3. That's why we have a 3 right here. This means finger 3. We're going to put it on fret number 3 on string number 1. So take your time. How's everybody doing with that C major chord? Kathy, how about a C major chord? Can I hear it? I'm in the mood to hear Kathy play a C major chord. How about Anna Carnes? Does Anna Carnes want to play a C major chord for us? If that isn't. Sure. All right. Guess who needs guitar tuna? I believe young Edward has it. How old are you, Edward?
7.
7 years old, and he just played a massive C chord right there. Okay, let's now bear in mind, guys, as we progress, this is going to get a little harder. So you probably said to yourself, fingers, fret, strings, this stuff is so easy, it's ridiculous. Well, it's not as easy as you think because we're going to build this little building as we go along, because remember what our goal is. Our goal is to get you playing the chorus of your first song by 2:45, and it's now 2:18. Think about what I just said. It's 2:18 right now, and by 2:45, you're going to be playing the chorus of a Bob Marley song called 3 Little Birds. Let's hear an F major chord. Take a couple of seconds and look at that. What are the fingers, frets, and strings here? We have finger 1, fret 1, string 1. Finger 1, fret 1, string 1. And finger 2, fret 2, string 4. Take your time. Take your time with that. And any brave soul out there, that is amazing. I don't know who's playing that. Was that you, Bill?
That's me. I got a banjo uke, 100 years old.
Oh, my God. Bill, where do you live?
West Virginia and Virginia, Fairfax.
Okay, you know what? I'm in Bayonne, New Jersey. I think I need to take a drive down and we need to hang out. Okay, anybody else? Nice F major chord. Edward, how about you? Okay, let me take a second to show you the correct posture of playing a chord. Now, a lot of people, what they do when they play their first chord is they do this. Let me play a nice F chord for everybody right here, just like this. Okay, now I want you to think about something. Look at my hand right there. Look at that. See my thumb hanging out like that? Think about something for a second. My hand right here is a runway. A plane lands like this on the runway. Am I correct? It comes in and it lands like this. However, a helicopter lands like this. Am I correct? Lands just like this. You need to land your hand on the fretboard, not like a plane. You need to land your hand on the fretboard like a ukulele, like a helicopter, like a helicopter. So what do I mean by that? See how my hand is right there? Look at my thumb. Look at my thumb. Look at my fingers right there. See that? That's landing like a helicopter on the fretboard, not like a plane. This is landing like a plane. Okay? That doesn't get anything done right there. What that produces is something called unwanted mutes. Basically, you're just gonna hear this. Now, what you do is you go like this. See that? Check that out. Look at that thumb. Look at the space here. See the space there? Okay, that's how you need to play a nice F chord. Everybody, play an F chord. Let me hear an F chord. Let me hear an F chord right there. We got some nice F chord going on. Okay, it's going to get a little harder, everybody. Go back to the C chord. Go back to the C chord. I'm loving it already. I love my hearing some C chords out there. Very, very, very good. All righty, let's go back. Now, what did I say? It's going to get harder, right? Look at this. The triangle chord, the dreaded G major chord. We got 3 fingers happening right now. Let me say them nice and slowly, and let's take a couple of seconds to formulate our G major chord. We have finger number 2, fret number 2, string number 1. Let me take a second. Then finger number 1, fret number 2, string number 3. Then finger number 3, fret number 3, string number 2. Take a second. This is a little tough because we get some unwanted mutes with the G major chord for beginning players. Ed, I think I heard you play a G major chord. Edward, your bravery and courage is coming through without your video. I love it. Listen to that. I think that's Edward playing a G major chord. Do that again, Edward.
I got my necklace now.
Okay, here's what a G major chord should sound like. That's quote unquote a perfect G major. Do you hear that? That's a music to my ears. That's better than any song I've ever heard right there. Right out of the starting gate. I think that was Edward or Bill playing a nice G major chord. Okay, let's go back. Let's do a quick review. Let me tell you guys a little secret. When I'm playing a professional live gig and somebody comes up to me and introduces themselves and says, my name is Frank, right? I forget it within 3 seconds. That's what I do. Then the second time they come up to me, hey, my name is Frank. Then I remember it for 15 seconds. Then only the third time when somebody comes up to me and says, hey, Rich, my name is Frank, I'm like, okay, I finally got it. So why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because you guys got to see these chords 2, 3, 4, 5 times in order to really internalize them inside your head. So it's the story of the old tortoise and the hare. Be slow and steady because it always wins the race. C major chord. Let me hear a C major chord. Everybody play it. C major chord. C major chord right here. C major chord. Very, very good. Excellent. Take another couple of seconds and play an F major chord. F major chord. F major chord. Okay, very, very, very good. G major chord. Play a G major chord. Take a couple of seconds to play a G major chord. Okay, now go back to the C major chord. Go back to the C. C major chord. C major chord. Excellent. Very, very, very good. I believe it's time to move to something called the palm mute. Everybody go on mute for a second because I'm going to show you something really cool here. All right, watch this. I want you to listen real carefully to this for a second. Pretty cool, right? Now, did you guys hear all those things that sounded like this? Percussion. It was percussive. This is why I love the ukulele and stringed instruments like this, because there's a drum set inside this thing. That's a drum set. And then when you throw some chords in there, you got a sing-along happening. Now I'm going to teach you how to do that snare drum sound on your ukulele. It's something called a palm mute. Now I'm going to go real close on this, and I'm going to show you how to accomplish this. Okay, so the trick to a palm mute is to have your palm and the pick strike the strings simultaneously. You're basically, now this is tough. Sometimes it takes a while for people. Sometimes it takes weeks for people to get this. So drop your palm on the strings just like this while the pick strikes the strings. Now, probably one or two of you are saying, I don't have a pick. No problem. Watch this. Now, if you notice, listen carefully to this. It's not that loud, right? You could hardly hear it. That's the trade-off that you choose when you don't play with a pick. Now, we could do finger picking stuff like this, really nice with the ukulele. But if you want some volume, and bear in mind that with an acoustic ukulele, look at the size of this thing. It's like a little dog, like a little chihuahua. Think of the bark of a chihuahua. It's got to be as loud as possible to scare big dogs away. It's the same thing with the ukulele. It's got to make as much sound as possible. So you want to take that pick and you want to go like this. There's a nice drum sound right there. So let's go back. So let's all try the palm mute. And while you're trying that, I'm going to get real quiet here and I'm just going to show you how it operates because it's really, people need to see it a couple of times. See that? Now, when it gets a little louder, you just go. Now, it's important that you're comfortable when you do the palm mute. Watch how easy it is, or how easy it looks. For me, my hand is just kind of dropping. Look at that; it's almost lazy. It's dropping on, but it's important to know that my palm is kind of dropping on the ukulele at the same time that my my pick is hitting those strings. See that? So let's do that one more time. Everybody, try the palm mute. So let's hear some palm mutes out there. Anybody at all. Can I hear some palm mutes? Bravely step up and let me hear you. Let me show you one or two more times. Sometimes what I do is I play sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll do 3 sets of that, almost like working out. You ever see a bodybuilder do curls? They do 3 sets of 10. They do a set of 10, put the weights down, set of 10, put the weights down, set of 10. That's how I operate too. And with that blueprint, you're going to get better on the ukulele. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go back to some of those chords. Everybody, give me a C chord. C chord. Remember the C chord? Finger 3, fret 3, string 1. Finger 3, fret 3, string 1. Very cool. What about that F chord? I'll go through it slowly for you. Finger 1, fret 1, string 2. Finger 1, fret 1, string 2. Finger 2, fret 2, string 4. Let me hear an F chord. Go back to that C chord. Okay, the dreaded G chord. You know what I want to hear. I want to hear that G chord. There's the G chord right there. Finger 2, fret 2, string 1. Finger 1, fret 2, string 3. Finger 3, fret 3, string 2. Why am I singing it? I don't know. Maybe I'll write a song. G chord. Let me hear a G chord. How's everybody doing out there? Are they following along with me? You can text me or you can go off mute and tell me. Are we all on the same page right now? Because I think I kind of feel like you guys are doing good here.
Yes.
Excellent. Amazing. Because now we're pulling out all the stops. You know what we're going to do? We're going to play our first song. We're going to play our first song, just like I promised you. What did I say? 2:45, you were going to be playing your first song. Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. Let's go over here. Now, if you haven't heard the song on the Guitar Den, I have audio reference files. So let's give this a listen for a second. We are going to play that. All right. Now, it's important to note that this song is actually in the key of A. It goes, don't worry about a thing because every little thing gonna be all right. But I ported it over to the key of C for simplicity's sake. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that chorus using the first two chords that we learned, C and F. You might want to fret those two chords. Take a second to just put them back into your head. Play the C chord and play the F chord. And then go back to C. So, see these 8 beats right here? I counted it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what I actually also do is I count 4 down, up, mute ups. Watch what I do with down, up, mute up. Right now, you just said to yourself, what's a down, up, mute up, Rich? Well, I'm going to show you what a down, up, mute up is. Everybody play the C chord right here. Okay, play your C chord. Now we're going to take everything we've learned and we're going to create our first rhythm pattern. I want you to strum down. Now strum up. Now do the palm mute. But keep your hand down here because what you're going to do is you're going to give me a nice up stroke to finish it off. Let's do that a couple of times. Down, up, mute, up. That is it. That's where it all ends right there. Let's take a minute to do that. Let's do that 4 times. 4 times. Down, up, mute, up. One more, 2. That's number 2. Down, up, mute, up. 3rd time. Down, up, mute, up. 4th time. Down, up, mute, up. You did it. Let's go back over to the sheet music right here. See these 8 beats? 8 beats translate into 4 down, up, mute ups. Down, up, mute, up. So if 8 beats in the key of C translates into 4 down, up, mute ups, how many down, up, mute ups does the F chord translate into if there's 4 beats? How many?
2.
That's right. 2 down, up, mute ups. And going back to the C, if we have 4 beats, how many down, up, mute ups does that translate into?
2.
That's right. So we have 4 down, up, mute ups. 2 down, up, mute ups in F. Let me go over that one more time. 4 in C, 2 in F, 2 in C. Then that entire thing is repeated twice. Okay? Let me say that one more time. If I'm moving too slow, I'm sorry. If I'm moving too fast, it's always better for me to slow down. Just bear with me. C, 4 down, up, mute ups. F, 2 down, up, mute ups. C, 2 down, up, mute ups. Then we're going to repeat that again. So let me play it for you. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Why are those words bolded right there? Why is every bolded? Because that's where you change to the F. Every little thing is going to be all. Back to the C, right. 2. Now let me count the down, up, mute ups. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over to F for 2. Go over to the F. 1, 2, and back to the C for 2. All right, let me go back and backtrack for a second and make sure you guys understand. Remember what I told you about how Frank has to come up to me 3 times at a gig for me to remember his name? That's probably what's going through your head right now. So I'm going to go back over, play your C chord, finger 3, fret 3, string 1. Now let me show you a down, up, mute up again. Let's go real slow, real slow. Down, up, mute, up. See that? That's 1. How many are we doing with that C? 4, right? So
4.
that's right. 2, 3, 4. What chord am I changing to right now?
See?
F. F. 1, 2. And where do I go from here?
C.
C. 1, 2. 4 down, up, mute. So I'm going to play it fast one time, and then I'm going to go back to playing it slow. I'm also going to sing it. You guys don't have to sing it right now because that's going to complicate it and you're going to get confused. Just play it for the time being. Singing, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. That is the chorus to Three Little Birds. Three Little Birds is a song that I was playing on the stage of a very famous bar in New York City 10 years ago, living my dream as a professional musician. And you guys now have the intellectual knowledge. You have the intellectual knowledge to play this song.